All right, so these days, in order to get the most out of your devices, whether it's a laptop, a tablet, or even a phone, you need a good quality Type-C hub. Today, we're taking a look at two Type-C hubs from Baseus. These are from their Metal Gleam series. We have their 10-in-1 hub as well as their 6-in-1 hub. Now, full transparency, they did send these over to me to check out. And to be honest, I do use Type-C hubs and I have used Type-C hubs in the past, and I've never really paid that much attention to specs and everything that they bring to the table. And after checking these two out, I'm kind of disappointed about that. And I wish I would have picked up something like these a lot sooner. So let's get into the details and talk about what these bring to the table. So let's start off with the 10-in-1 hub. This comes in right around 60 bucks. And as of creating this video, I did see some discounts on Amazon. So I'll put the links in the description. You guys can check them out for the most up-to-date price. Also, Black Friday is coming up. So I'm sure they'll have some amazing deals that you guys can take advantage of. So the first thing you notice is just the build quality. It's got an aluminum finish pretty much all the way around that feels super premium and just very durable. Certainly feels like it'll hold up well over time. It also has a braided Type-C cable, which is going to be a lot less likely to split with extensive use. And one thing that's really cool about these hubs is that it even has a little section on the top where you can store the Type-C port when you're not using it. So that's beneficial. You know, it can help keep lint and debris out of there and just make sure that it's working properly long term. So obviously you have a total of 10 different ports, including 2 Type-C ports, one of which is capable of 100-watt power delivery. You also have 2 HDMI ports, 2 USB-A 2.0 ports, an Ethernet port, an SD and micro SD card slot, as well as a USB-A 3.2 port. So you've got a wide selection of ports to use with your different accessories. Now, a big selling point here is the data transfer speed. With this Type-C hub, you're going to get up to 10 gigabits per second. And I actually did a comparison between this Type-C hub and the Type-C hub that I've been using. And, you know, to be fair, the Type-C hub that I've been using is actually one from Anker, and it works perfectly fine. It does everything that I need it to do. But for the sake of comparison, I wanted to see how it stacks up to this hub from Baseus. So like I said, you're going to get up to 10 gigabits per second with this one. But the key is that you have to be using a device that is able to take advantage of those faster speeds. So what I used is a portable SSD from SanDisk. And basically I took a total of 5 different video files, which came out to be around 17 gigabytes worth of video. And I just transferred it from my computer over to the SSD, and the Baseus was noticeably faster compared to the Anker Type-C hub. Now, it does make sense because I looked up the specs on the Anker hub, and this one maxes out at 5 gigabits per second, and the Baseus hub was nearly twice as fast to a T. It took around 21 seconds to transfer the files with the Baseus hub, and it was a little over 40 seconds with the Anker hub. So that would make sense. The Anker hub, again, 5 gigabits per second compared to the 10 gigabits per second of the Baseus hub. So depending on what you typically use your devices for, having a faster hub could possibly speed up your workflow. Now, when it comes to the HDMI ports, it's able to support an external display at 4K 120 Hz or dual external displays at 4K 60 Hz. And one thing that's really cool is this screen lock button. I don't think I've seen any other Type-C hub with this. There might be some out there, I just haven't seen them personally. And basically what you can do is press this button and it'll lock your displays or basically shut them off. So if you were ever in a situation where you're working on some personal information on your computer and someone walks in the room and you don't want them to see that information, you could simply close off the displays with the touch of a button. So very, very convenient. And a quick tip is that if you're using a Windows computer, you only have to press the button once. But if you're using a Mac computer, you actually have to press it twice. So that's one thing that was throwing me off initially. I was using a MacBook Pro and I was just pressing it once and it wasn't really working right. But when I read the instructions, I saw that you had to press it twice for Mac computers. And since then, it's worked flawlessly. Another thing I discovered is that it works perfectly with the iPhone 15 now that they've switched over to Type-C. So with that, you can do things like transfer files between an SD card and your phone. Maybe you got some large video files eating up space. You could plug directly into the phone and transfer those files to an external device. Another thing you could do is connect an SSD. Maybe you want to take advantage of the ProRes log video recording option with the iPhone 15 lineup. And those files are absolutely massive. So if you don't want those just taking up all of your space on the phone, you could connect an SSD and have those files stored directly to the SSD. And then you could even have pass-through charging as well. So maybe you want to use your iPhone 15 for your YouTube setup, something of the sort. You could rig it up and, use this Type-C hub to get the best out of your device. And in a nutshell, that's really the 10-in-1 hub. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the 6-in-1 hub, which is very, very similar. So this one comes in right around 35 bucks. But again, chances are you can find some discounts at the moment. Links will be in the description. So with this one, same build quality. You have that aluminum finish that feels great, very high quality, very durable. You're getting that same braided Type-C cable. And this one also allows you to store the cable in the body of the hub. Now, obviously with this one, you have fewer ports compared to the 10-in-1, but still highly capable. You have 2 Type-C ports along with pass-through charging, an Ethernet port. You have a single HDMI port that supports 4K 60 Hz, as well as 2 USB-A ports, and it also maxes out at 10 gigabits per second, just like the 10-in-1 hub. You also have that screen lock button as well, so if you need to quickly turn your external display off, you do have that option. So overall, I've been extremely impressed with these devices, and if you're in the market for a Type-C hub, I don't see any reason why these wouldn't make a great choice. So that covers it for today's video. As always, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.